Hey guys, welcome to my new movie review for the third movie in the trilogy of Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, and now 2019, Angel Has Fallen. This is a movie directed by Rick Roman War, and it's an action movie. It's rated MA15 plus, and it goes for 2 hours exactly. Now, if you've been following me for any period of time, you know that when I talk about my movie reviews, I really like to get the things over and done with that I don't like, and then I'll tell you about all the good things about the movie, because that's just the way I just want to get all the bad stuff out of the way, and then I'll talk about the good stuff. So, straight off the bat, guys, one of the first things that I didn't like about this movie is it wasn't really a bad thing. It wasn't really a bad thing. It was just something that, and I understand why they did it. They tried to film this sequence with as much natural lighting as they possibly could. And after watching it, I was like, yeah, okay, I get it now. But I have to say, the lighting sequence in the truck sequence, I was like, yeah, it just kind of rubbed me up wrong. I don't know. It just felt too dark. It was just too dark. You can kind of tell what was going on. And then there's another sequence as well that follows that. And again, the lighting in those two sequences were just too dark for my liking. The other thing was right at the start of the movie when Gerard Butler's talking to his friend. I don't know why they chose to do this, and I thought it was kind of unusual. It was a really weird cinematic technique. It was weird technique. So the person here who was closest to the camera was out of focus, and the person here was completely in focus. But it was the unfocused person was actually a little bit distracting, and it was like, you kind of knew that you wanted to look at that person, but you kind of waited for this person to come back into focus, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. And I thought to myself, man, that's actually a little bit annoying. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't. I don't know. I'm probably nitpicking and saying that. It was just something that I was like, nah. I just didn't like it. The other thing that I wasn't a fan of, guys, was okay. So this is a pretty pathetic one in terms of acting. Now, I could be wrong. I'm going to go and see this movie again, but I could be wrong. There's a scene in this movie where Jada Pinkett Smith, she's in this movie, she goes to... okay. She reacts to something before something actually happens. Okay, I don't want to give spoilers away. But she reacts to something before something actually happens. Unless she didn't, and it was just the noise of something that went off, and it just seemed like she reacted too soon, but it looked like she reacted too soon. And I was like, maybe it wasn't, maybe I was right. And I was just like, whoa, that was bad timing. Like, oh, that was terrible. But I could be wrong. I need to watch it again and just look at that scene a little bit, more focused. But it felt like she reacted too soon to something happening. Anyway, and this is my final thing, and then I'll go back into the good stuff. So the other thing that I wanted to say is right at the end of the movie, not right at the end of the movie, but towards like the third half of the movie, there was, unfortunately, ridiculously obvious blue screen. Extremely obvious blue screen. It literally, you could tell that they were running it in front of a blue screen. It was like, oh man, that was bad. It was so, and if they weren't, man, no, they were. They definitely were. But okay, guys, I want to tell you this before I tell you all the good stuff about this movie. There are two post-credit scenes, and the second one is hilarious. Now, when the actual title roll starts, that's the end of the movie. But there's a scene just before that, and this movie ends on a very, 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 very funny note. It's really, really funny note. But onto the good stuff. This movie is action packed. Oh my gosh. Morgan Freeman, Gerard Butler, Jada Pinkett Smith is in this movie as well. There is a really, I don't want to give this one away because it's not in the trailers, but an actor comes into it and he plays a very, very big role in it. But I don't want to give it away because he's not in the trailer, and yeah, but it's awesome, awesome, awesome character. Man, this for an ending trilogy for a movie is absolutely brilliant. One of the things that I love about the fact of trilogies is when they take their time doing the story. I really, really value that. And then the end result is just this. Literally, Angel Has Fallen. This is a brilliant ending trilogy. Honestly, I loved every second of it. I loved every moment of it. There was times in the movie where it had nice, just gentle pacing, and then it got back into the action again, and it was so well done. Guys, I really, 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 really highly recommend this movie. Seriously. Angel Has Fallen. It literally dropped in cinemas today. Go and check this movie out. I genuinely, I really honestly think that you will thoroughly enjoy this movie. And yes, I do recommend. I get this question a lot. I get this question all the time. People ask me this all the time. They say, do you think that I should watch the first two before watching this one? The reason why I say yes is because the storyline makes sense. This is a standalone movie, but the storyline, including those two, it just makes sense. It's really, really good like that. Anyway, guys, if anyone's been following me for any period of time, I'll talk a bit slower. You'll know I love movie trivia. So here's some movie trivia. So if you've seen the first two trilogies, you'll actually know that Aaron Eckhart was actually the president of the United States in those two movies, but Morgan Freeman took his role over to return for this film. That's a bit of trivia. Another piece, guys. One last piece of trivia, guys, and I'll let you go. Morgan Freeman, this is actually the second time he's actually played the President of the United States. The first one, it was actually in Deep Impact in 1998. So there you go. You're welcome. Guys, thank you so much for watching this movie review. I really, really appreciate your time. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Have you seen Angel Has Fallen? If you have, leave your comments down below. I'd really appreciate that. If you like this movie review, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And so until my next movie review, this is Superman Steve flying off.